You've tried the breathing exercises, you've done the meditation apps, and some days they work, a little. But other days, you're doing everything right on paper, slow breath, quiet room, and your body still feels like it's bracing for something that already happened years ago. That's what researchers call operating outside your window of tolerance, a term from neuropsychiatrist Dan Siegel that describes exactly that state where your nervous system is too activated to settle, no matter what your mind is telling it. And it's the core problem that somatic experiencing, developed by Levine, was specifically designed to address. Because most nervous system advice treats regulation like a single switch you flip. It isn't. It's a set of specific physical inputs your body actually responds to, and most people have never been taught what those inputs are. Here's the problem with how you've probably been approaching this. You've been trying to think your way calm, reasoning with yourself, telling yourself you're safe. And your nervous system doesn't take instructions from your thoughts the way you'd expect. This is actually what Polyvagal Theory, developed by neuroscientist Porges, explains. Your autonomic nervous system evolved to respond to physical signals, what Porges calls interoception, not internal monologue. It's constantly scanning your environment and the people around you for cues of safety or danger beneath the level of conscious thought. That's not a flaw in you. It's just not the language your body speaks. By the end of this, you'll have 3 specific ways to actually reach your nervous system, not talk at it. And the third one is the one almost nobody tries first, even though it's often the fastest. The first is movement, specifically the kind that discharges energy your body never got to release. When you experience a threat, your autonomic nervous system, specifically the sympathetic branch, prepares your muscles for action, running, fighting, pushing away. If that action never happens, because the threat was a person you couldn't escape or a situation you had to sit through, that mobilized energy doesn't just disappear, it stays stored. And somatic experiencing for relational trauma treats this stored activation as one of the primary reasons anxiety persists long after the original event is over. Levine observed that animals in the wild naturally complete this discharge cycle. Shaking, in particular, mimics what animals do after surviving danger, a physical discharge that resets the nervous system. You can access this deliberately. Stand up, let your hands and arms shake loosely, let your knees bend and release for a minute or two, without trying to control the movement into something graceful. SE practitioners call this process titration, working with small, manageable doses of activation rather than flooding yourself all at once. It'll feel strange the first time. That's fine. The goal isn't to look composed, it's to let your body finish something it started a long time ago. The second input is touch, specifically firm, grounding pressure rather than light touch, which can actually read as threatening to an activated nervous system. Cross your arms and press your hands firmly against your opposite shoulders, or press your palms flat against your thighs with real weight behind them. This isn't a metaphor. Deep pressure activates specific receptors, part of what researchers call interoception and proprioception, your body's internal and positional awareness systems. That signals safety to your nervous system in a way gentle touch doesn't. That's part of why weighted blankets work for so many people, and why a firm hug lands differently than a light one. Somatic experiencing for relational trauma uses this kind of proprioceptive input constantly because it gives your body concrete, physical evidence of boundaries and containment, something a nervous system shaped by relational trauma often never got enough of growing up. Bessel van der Kolk, whose research in the body keeps the score, covers much of this same territory, describes the body's need for exactly this kind of felt sense of safety, not a thought about safety, but a physical experience of it. The third input, the one you probably haven't tried on purpose, is co-regulation. Borrowing the calm of another regulated nervous system instead of trying to generate calm entirely on your own. This is Porges' insight at the heart of polyvagal theory. Human nervous systems are wired through the vagus nerve to sync with each other, a process called co-regulation. Your vagus nerve is constantly reading safety cues from other nervous systems through tone of voice, facial expression, proximity, and adjusting your own state and response. This is why sitting next to someone who's genuinely calm can shift your state faster than any technique you do alone, and why isolation tends to make dysregulation worse, not better. Porges calls this the ventral vagal state, the social engagement system that's only accessible when your nervous system feels genuinely safe. If you don't have access to a person like that in the moment, even a recorded voice with a slow, steady pace can partially activate this same pathway, because your vagus nerve responds to vocal tone and rhythm more than it responds to the actual words being said. That's part of why some people find certain voices instantly calming and others instantly grating, long before they've consciously registered what's being said. Consider what this looks like for someone who spends every morning bracing for a difficult conversation at work, jaw tight, shoulders climbing toward her ears, before anything has even happened. A classic sign of being pushed outside her window of tolerance before the day has started. Telling her to just relax does nothing, because there's no physical instruction in that sentence her body can actually follow. But 2 minutes of deliberate shaking before she leaves the house, followed by firm pressure across her own arms while she waits for the elevator, gives her nervous system something concrete to respond to. Not a thought, a signal. None of these replace working with someone trained in this work if you're carrying significant trauma. What they do is give you 3 actual levers: movement, pressure, and connection, instead of the vague advice to calm down that's never once worked when you needed it most. Here's what's easy to miss if you only do this occasionally. Your nervous system learns through repetition, not through a single perfect session. One shakeout during one hard morning won't rewire anything permanently. But a body that regularly gets these signals, movement to discharge, pressure to ground, connection to co-regulate, starts to expect them and starts settling faster each time, the same way any pattern strengthens with practice. SE practitioners call this pendulation, the gradual expansion of your capacity to move between activation and calm, each cycle widening your window of tolerance a little more. Most people spend years fighting their own anxiety with willpower, treating every wave of activation as a problem to think their way out of. Somatic experiencing for relational trauma exists because that fight was never going to work, not because you weren't trying hard enough, but because you were speaking to your nervous system in a language it was never built to understand. Movement, pressure, connection, those it understands. Your body has been waiting for these signals for a long time. The only question left is which one you'll actually give it today.